Right, it is the 6th of February 2014. Thank you so much for making time for Citizen at 1. My name is Willis Raburu. Now, our top story this hour. The Law Society of Kenya's annual elections are currently underway, with lawyers casting their ballot in 25 polling stations countrywide. Lawyers are expected to elect council members to serve in the 2014 to 2016 term and representatives to the influential Judicial Service Commission.
Lawyers countrywide will today make their choices of office bearers known to all and sundry after casting their ballots in countrywide LSK polls which are being conducted by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission on behalf of the lawyers' body. Eric Mutua will be defending his seat as the chairman of LSK. He will be battling it out with lawyers Charles Kanjama and Ambrose Weda. In the race for the position of LSK Vice Chairperson, Lillian Renee Omondi will be seeking re-election and she will be battling it out with Faith Waigwa. The coveted position of LSK male representative to the Judicial Service Commission, held by Senior Counsel Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, is also being eyed by two former LSK chairmen, Tom Ojenda Okongo Mogeni and a Nairobi lawyer Kaburu Ndegwa. Abdullahi will also be defending his seat. Several candidates will also be seeking post the LSK Disciplinary Committee, which has 4 slots available. Lawyers will also be electing individuals to serve as council members in the 2014-2016 term. Kendagor Obadia, Citizen at 1.
Right, we'll be joining Esther Kahumbi, who is at the Supreme Court buildings where these elections are taking place. We'll be linking up with her a little later, but still within the confines of that Supreme Court building. The digital migration case is currently underway at the Supreme Court, that is the Court of Appeal, where the judges led by the appellate judge Roslyn Nambuye are hearing the case. Now, early on, there was a petition that was filed to administer a letter that was allegedly written by CCK giving Signet the license to broadcast, and with one condition, that is having the 5 local stations being broadcast as part of that distribution license. And so the lawyers led by Paul Mwite were challenging that particular petition. The judges took a short break and ruled on the petition. That particular letter has been dismissed, but the ruling will be given next week. Let's now take a look at what happened there.
And now you are asking us to make a sacrifice on our side, and we shall also ask you to make a sacrifice on your side. And you appreciate that part hearts are not the best in the Court of Appeal. So we have to come up with an agreed arrangement whereby we are going to sacrifice on our side, and you also agree to sacrifice on your side in terms of procreation of the appeal. We don't want to have a break. And you know, if you are willing, and my brothers were willing to go the Nambuye style, sitting throughout marathon, but that is what took me to the vetting board, and the vetting it is still sitting. I don't want to
you cannot be taken there.
Yes, I cannot drag my brothers.
Of course, we'll be bringing you the details of the particulars of that case, was the arguments and the counter arguments in our later bulletin. So you want to keep it Citizen TV. Now, still on matters elections, candidates seeking positions in the ODM party primaries set for the end of this month stepped up their campaigns to woo delegates to vote for them. This comes even as the party seeks to avoid a fallout within its rank and file over claims of a preferred lineup of candidates. Jackie Maribe has the details.
The battle for plum party posts in ODM continues to gather momentum, with hopefuls turning to delegates who will have the ultimate say in the vote come the end of February. Already, a rift has emerged, with some vocal leaders sharply criticizing party leader Raila Odinga about the party's alleged preference of certain candidates, and those said to be the chosen few making every effort to dissociate themselves with such claims. The perceived hand-picked aspirants list has Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho as the party deputy leader, Funyula lawmaker Paul Otoma as the party chairman, with Homa Bay Senator Otieno Kajwang as his deputy, and nominated Senator Dr. Agnes Zani as the secretary general, with Mbalambala lawmaker Abdikadir Aden as organizing secretary.
So I've met with the delegates at Central. I've been received very warmly. We've had very, very constructive discussions for the better part of this morning. And I think we have together really decided on a way forward in terms of how to strengthen ourselves in this party.
Na mimi nitahakikisha nitatumia akili yangu, uwezo yangu na mawazo yangu yote ili kuhakikisha watu wote ambao ni wanachama wa ODM hawabaguliwi.
The other list of candidates opposed to the said list has Turkana Governor Josephat Nanok being fronted for party chairman, with Eldas lawmaker Aden Kenan as his deputy and Budalangi MP Ababuna Mwamba as secretary general. Jackie Maribe, Citizen at 1.
Now to matters education now, and the Elimu Yetu Coalition has now issued a 5-day ultimatum to Education Cabinet Secretary Professor Jacob Kaimenyi to revise the 2009 fee structure that pegged fees for day schools at 10,265 shillings and 28,892 shillings for boarding schools. Parents have raised concern over the high cost of secondary school education. The coalition also wants Kaimenyi to announce disciplinary measures that the Ministry of Education has taken against school heads who are charging levies. They tend to rally parents to hold demonstrations after the 5-day ultimatum lapses.
It is the same Ministry of Education that sat down with the same stakeholders, including the same heads of schools, in 2009, and they recommended that the amount of schools fees to be charged should be 28,000. I am sure they had looked at all those issues and the cost of living and everything else. If you want to tell me that from 2009 the cost of living has risen to such an amount that a school should therefore depart from 28,000 to 100,000, then the economists in these countries are lying to us.
Now, still on matters education, but a rather different note and a positive one at that. A pupil who was rescued twice from early marriages in Maungu, Taita Taveta County now has a second chance to pursue her dreams thanks to a well-wisher. The 15-year-old girl will be sponsored by Rachel Dawai right from secondary school through to university. Kibemburu tells us more.
After we aired the story about the girl who narrated how she was rescued twice from the hands of a man who wanted to marry her at a tender age in Maungu area near Voi Town, the girl now has a reason to smile after a good Samaritan came her way.
Nilipoona picha kwa television, nilikuwa nimeketi napumzika, na nilipoona mtoto tu akitajwa kwamba ametoka Taita Taveta, na nilipokuona Bwana Dio, niliguswa sana.
The girl, identified as Susan, is all smiles after being rescued from a forced marriage and having been handed a chance to join Form 1 in a secondary school in Voi. The sponsor has agreed to pay her school fees together with her university education fees. Susan's parents say they have no problem with her going to school, but the community's traditions sometimes let them down.
Mambo mengi tumekuwa tukimalizia pale manyumbani. Tunaitengeneza pale kinyumbani kienyeji.
The area assistant chief who took care of Susan for 3 years lauded the donor for giving the young girl hope of a brighter future. Meanwhile, Voi District Education Officer said that Taita Taveta County Ministry of Education office in the town will establish a kitty in Susan's name, which will also help other girls with similar plight in the county.
Susan ni msichana ambaye tumemsaidia tangu akiwa class 7. Hii ni mara ya 3 tunamfanyia rescue, lakini sasa tumepata mfadhili ambaye amekubali kuenda kumsaidia.
Kibemburu, Citizen at 1.